Okay, we are gonna do the tubular cast on, and you need, just like the long tail cast on, you need a good amount of tail. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to measure it as specifically as you do for the long tail cast on, but just give yourself enough to work with. And you're going to need to differentiate between your tail and your working yarn, and your working yarn is the yarn that's attached to your ball of yarn. We're gonna take our tail and drape it over our thumb. Our working yarn is over our index finger, and then we'll take the yarn, both strands, and pinch them with our remaining 3 fingers, and kind of have your yarn up towards the fingernail bed and not back towards your hand, and try to extend those hands. So we're trying to make like a slingshot. Yeah, like that, as best you can. Now we're gonna take our needle and set it on top of the yarn and just make a little swoop. So this is gonna be our first stitch. You could do a slip knot if you're more comfortable with that. I never use a slip knot. I just do this, and it always secures and works beautifully. And so now we're gonna do the long tail. So it's a lot less steps than, or the tubular cast on, it's a lot less steps than long tail. However, it does have the tendency, it's not super secure, so it will unravel pretty easily. So just be mindful of that. We're gonna start with a purl cast on. We're gonna pretend like this was a knit, that little first rollover that we did, and I'll show that one more time. So we just set it on top, and then just do a little scoop and over situation. Now we're gonna take our needle, and we're gonna come back and under the yarn that's connected to the index finger. And at the same time, we're gonna go forward and under the yarn attached to the thumb. Then we're gonna come back underneath everything and around to complete that action. And when you look at it, it gives you a nice purl bump there. So we have a knit and a purl. Now we need to do a knit because we're doing a 1x1 rib. So we're gonna come forward, go under the thumb yarn, go over and under the index finger, bring it back under the thumb. And now we have, it's kind of hard to tell on this video. However, when you're looking at it, if you don't pull this up super tight, I just did, you can tell that it looks different than the purl. It does look like a knit stitch. So we're just gonna keep doing that. So we're gonna go back towards the index, under, over, under everything, back to the beginning, forward and under, backwards and under the whole thing, back to the beginning, back and under, forward and under, back and around, done. Forward and under, back and under, all the way under, complete. Back and under, forward and under, all the way around, complete. Forward and under, back and under, all the way around, complete. So when we're doing that all the way around, we're just bringing the knitting needle is on top and the yarn is back down at the bottom. And the little twist is happening underneath the needle. That was a purl. So we're gonna go forward and under, back and under, all the way around, knit. And I can tell, I can look at my bump if I get lost, if I get distracted, if someone asks me a question, I can just stop and tell, was this a knit or a purl, and then do I go back? So you just keep going. And you can kind of get in a rhythm, and it can go, it's so much faster, but it also does make you stop and think. And that is our tubular cast on. Totally tubular, dude. Over, under, back. Forward, under, back, under, all the way around. Back, under, forward, under, all the way around. Forward, under, back, under, all the way around. Back, under, forward, under, all the way around. You got it.